Hello friends and welcome. It's another beautiful day in the Northeast today, and we're going to celebrate with some yoga for back pain. Very common issue. Over 90% of Americans are going to suffer with back pain at some point in their life. So if you're one of them, know that you're not alone. Okay, so we should just get going. We're gonna start in child's pose. All right, let's start in a nice child's pose with the legs wide. We're gonna extend this child's pose, arms out in front of us. And you're gonna reach, try to lengthen your back as much as you can here. We're gonna make it as active as possible here, just to center. You can either bring your chin to the mat or your forehead. Forehead is a lot more easeful. Chin is gonna stretch the throat a bit, which is something that we do need because, posture always starts in the neck, right? So with our text neck, our computer neck, our chin is always jetting forward. And that starts the misalignment from there. Chin forward, shoulders forward, and then we start the bad posture in the upper back all the way down to the low back. So this is a nice way to stretch that throat so that that head can start to reposition in the right alignment. So we're just going to take a couple of breaths here and feel into this posture. So if you have any intense pain at all throughout this practice, it's your body's way of telling you to back off, okay? What's interesting is in a position where you feel a little bit of discomfort, our tendency is to move away from it, to try to get distracted or to alleviate it somehow. But sometimes if we just sit with it and bring our attention and focus to it, that is enough to ease it. Instead of running, lean into it a bit. And we're not talking about intense pain. We're talking about discomfort. So even in this position, if you're feeling a little bit of discomfort, lean into it, feel into it, and bring some warmth, some light, some gentleness in that area. Just through your mind's eye, right? Just kind of breathing into that space. Feel that space being nurtured. Using some maybe gentle language. It's okay. I'm going to get through this. We're going to work together to ease it. Whatever works for you. Whatever helps. Imagine it's like a screaming toddler, and all it wants is a little bit of attention and a little bit of love. So yeah, talk to your pain, feel into the pain, and we're going to slowly start to move here. So I'm going to look up at my hands. My eyes are closed. Open those eyes. Look up at your hands. Press into the palms of your hands and come into a nice tabletop, which means my knees are going to come right under my hips, and my hands are going to come right under my shoulders. Actually, my wrists will line up right under the shoulders. I'm going to run through a few cat and cows here. So the cow is the arching of the back, right? So that means my tailbone is going up to the sky. My shoulder blades draw in together, and my shoulders reach back. It's like a smiley face with the spine, right? So throat, again, is stretching. We're trying to counter that text neck. So really try to look up at the sky as much as you can. And then as we exhale, we're going to push the floor away from us, right? And you're going to make a rainbow with the spine without shifting the hips forward and back, right? Keeping the hips and the shoulders really neutral. It's just the spine moving here. So I'm tucking the tail and spreading the shoulder blades. And now my chin goes to my chest. And I'm really finding that nice curve, right? Tucking and now arching. So drawing the shoulder blades together. This is my inhale. My belly is trying to go towards the mat. So you're really just letting the belly hang. And you might be able to feel a stretch through your navel, through your core. And then as you exhale, you want to feel your navel drawing in towards the spine. And maybe as you reach the bottom of the exhale, you can give it an extra squeeze, really pulling in and really squeezing the abdomen, making it a core exercise too. A couple more rounds like that. A big inhale and a big exhale. One more time. Inhale, arching, exhale, rounding. Finding a neutral spine here, and let's sway into the hips side to side. A little swaying, a little rocking. Starting to make a C with your spine. So now you go right shoulder towards the right hip, left shoulder towards the left hip. Making some C's, and then we'll start to make some circles, circling over the wrist, right forward, left back. Do that a couple times, and then we'll go left forward, right back. All right, we're gonna find center. We're gonna look forward, and we're gonna extend our right fingertips right out in front in a little tented position with our fingers. And then we're gonna extend the left leg straight back behind us, keeping our spine neutral. So we're in table. We're gonna inhale and the arm float up by the ear and the leg float up. So we're still in a nice neutral spine, but the leg is lifting as high as it can and the arm is lifting as high as it can. Big inhale here, and then as you exhale, tap finger, tap toes. Try not to sit into the right hip. So if you look down at that right knee, you want to make sure that it is right directly under that hip, that the hip isn't off to the right and the knee in center. So keep that alignment so you're working the core. It's an inhale and it's an exhale. Good, we're gonna do this a few more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time, we're gonna hold it. Now we're gonna try to find a bit of an arch in the back, almost like a cow back. And then as you exhale, we're gonna see if we can balance this. Squeeze the belly. If you need to, you could tuck your right toes under. That'll help you balance a bit. And try to get the left knee to tap your right elbow. And then inhale, bring it right back out. So again, curl the right toes under if you need a little extra balance. Exhale, round into your cat. Inhale, extend it straight out. One more time. Exhale, round. Chin to chest, forehead's going towards your knee, elbows going towards your knee, and then you inhale and you take it out. Awesome. Let's place the hand down. Place the left knee down and rock side to side. We're going to shift our hips back into child's pose again. Rest our elbows on the mat. Interlace the fingers and let's just stretch out the wrist. Give the wrists a little bit of a break before we do the other side. You can bring the palms of your hands together, turn them to face outward so the backs of your hands touch, and then bring your fingers to point towards you, then towards the mat, and then back up. So you're making this kind of circular motion. That'll give your wrists a nice stretch. A couple more times. That's good. Now we're going to come back to center, and we take the left finger. So make sure everything's set up in your tabletop again. Left fingers tent out towards the front of the mat. Right leg extends. We're going to inhale, float them up. So to keep this balance, right, we got to engage the core. And you find a spot right directly in front of you and down towards the mat. And then exhale, tap it down. Inhale, bring it up, and exhale, tap it down. Good, 3 more times. Inhale, bring it up, exhale, tap it down. 2 more, big inhale and exhale. Last one, we're gonna hold. We're gonna lift maybe even a little bit higher. Maybe find a bit of an arch in the back without leaning into that left hip. We're gonna exhale, bring the knee to the elbow and maybe to the forehead. Elbow to the knee. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, kick it out. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, kick it out. Hold. Exhale, find your tabletop. Okay, let's walk our hands forward of our chest, of our shoulders, and then just drop the hips to the mat. We're gonna bend our elbows and bring our elbows right under our shoulders in a nice Sphinx pose. Okay, just close your eyes here and just kind of recenter for a couple breaths. So think of your shoulder blades drawing inward. Think of your tailbone trying to find its way between your legs and not up towards the sky. So giving your low back a little bit of length by tucking it a little bit. And again, breathe into any part of you that's feeling a bit of discomfort right now. Find that space where you can bring some love and attention in that area. Bring the heart forward a little bit more. Throw the head back a little more. Let's stretch that neck. Tuck that tail. Press into the palms of the hands so you're trying to push up and forward. Almost like your elbows are reaching back towards your navel, but they can't really move. So it's this feeling of pulling back with the elbows and pulling forward and up with the heart and the chin. All right, now as we exhale, I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to bring it behind my left elbow. Then I'm going to take my left knee and I'm going to bring it towards my right hand. I'm going to slide that right arm all the way through so I land on my right ear. And then I'm going to take my left shoulder back behind me. I'm going to bend my right foot and grab a hold of it. And if I can grab a hold of it, I'm going to pull it in, pull the heel towards my chest. And then slowly try to get that left shoulder towards the mat. Keep the foot you're holding on to, towards the mat. And then take your right hand and put it on your left knee. And then maybe you can pull that left knee towards you a little bit more as you push down and in the foot that you're grabbing, your right foot. Pull it in towards your hip. So you're also getting a quad stretch. So here you're getting a stretch in your thigh, in front of your thigh. You're stretching the back. You're aiming for the left shoulder to touch the back, it's to touch the mat. It's almost like both shoulders are looking up at the sky. And we're breathing here for a few breaths. You're gonna be in this posture long enough where you can try to find some ease here. So you're gonna try to invite every part of you to relax, right? So you're gonna inhale and exhale, go a little bit deeper. But then find the tension, find where you're clinging, find where you're holding, find where your nervous system isn't releasing. And then give it permission to let go. So it might be your shoulders, it might be your thigh, it might be your inner thigh, it might be your back. Just kind of take that journey and pay attention, really dropping into our bodies here. That's what this practice is really all about. It's becoming very familiar and intimate with our inner world, our inner workings. So it's a deliberate way to tap in. It's very intentional. It's about feeling into it because there's such a wealth of knowledge here. There's so much information. Our body keeps the score. Our body takes in everything, and it could inform us of so much if we just pay attention. Okay, we're going to take another breath. And then you're going to release that foot. You're going to push your way back to that Sphinx pose, elbows under the shoulders. Okay, so this time we're going to press into the palm of the hand before we do the other side. Press into the palm of your hand, come into an inhale, and see if you could straighten the elbows. Now, this is a posture that might be a little bit too much, might be a little too intense for the low back. Pay attention to that. If it's too intense, don't straighten the arms out of the way. Just lift them, maybe just lift them a little bit. But you're going to inhale, you're going to try to straighten all the way into seal. So again, tuck the tail a little bit. Don't overarch that low back. Throw the head back. This is your inhale. You're going to exhale, tap the elbows. Inhale, bring it back up. Throw the head back. Exhale, tap the elbows. Good. And inhale. A few more like that. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale this last time, we're gonna hold it for a good 5 breaths. Keep working the shoulders down and the shoulder blades together. Keep tucking the tail, maybe squeeze your glutes a little bit. So we take it out of the low back and you open up the heart, focusing on the middle back here. Stretching the core. 2 and 1, back to Sphinx. Okay, now we take the left hand, we're gonna thread it through. And we're gonna straighten it all the way. I'm gonna take the right knee towards my left hand. I'm gonna rest my head on the mat. My right arm is gonna come up and over, and my left knee is gonna bend. I'm gonna grab a hold of that foot. Okay, so as I grab a hold of the foot, I'm pulling the heel towards my glutes. My left hand is gonna hold on to my right knee and kind of push that down. So gently guide that down, and I'm reaching the right shoulder for the mat. So this should be a really nice, juicy stretch here. Really nice for the low back. And you know, your quad might be a little uncomfortable, but that's okay. Tight hip flexors is a very common cause for low back pain. Right, so we want to really stretch that out. It's all that sitting we do a lot of times in our desk, right? Sitting at our desk, our hip flexors start to just tighten and shorten. So we want to counter that. We're going to release that. Actually, we're not going to release that yet because I realized the other side we held it for a little bit longer. So let's just be here. Again, tap into all parts of your body like you did on the other side. Feel into what needs attention. If you feel tightness or tension, if you feel any holding anywhere, invite that part of you to relax. You know, it's not easy to even notice that that's happening. That takes a special kind of awareness to realize what and where you're holding, right? So it really takes an intentional effort. Okay, another 2 breaths here. And then we're gonna release, and we're gonna come back to center. Okay, let's slide our hands under our shoulder. And let's push our way all the way up to kneeling. Okay. So I'm gonna untuck my toes. I'm gonna lift my arms all the way up to my ears. Big inhale here, and let's exhale over to the right. Just your spine, your hips aren't doing anything. Your hips are staying in line with your knees. And we're gonna inhale it to center and then exhale it over to the left. Inhale it right back to center. Find a little back bend here, but we're gonna put our hands on our hips, right? And just direct the tailbone down. Keep the hips lined up with your knees. Keep the tailbone reaching down. Find length in your low back as you find your back bend. Big breath in. Then as you exhale, we're gonna curl the toes under, have a seat. And then lift the knees up, straighten your legs, come to a forward bend at the back of your mat. So many of you, I'm sure, will not be able to touch your mat with your knees straight in this position, and we don't want to keep them totally straight. We want to have a slight bend. Actually, let's start with a big bend. Let's start with a little ragdoll to start. So nice bent knees, and you might want to grab blocks, something to prop your hands under, bringing the floor to you so you can really root down here. You're going to bring your shoulder towards your ears and kind of fold a little bit more. Go a little bit deeper. So get into those hamstrings, right? Tight hamstrings, also a cause of low back pain. Pulling on your pelvis, pulling it down and creating a lot of tension in that low back. So you want to try to open up those hamstrings. So nice and easy though. We don't want to lock the knees. Big breath in and then exhale. Fold a little bit deeper. Gonna bend the knees again. Lift the heels and then let's soften the knees to the mat. Bring your arms out to airplane, untuck your toes, and let's do some helicopter twists side to side. helicopter twist, side to side. Big inhale, big exhale as you turn. And then you can kind of start kind of hitting, your hands to your sides just to kind of make it a bit more playful. Relaxing the shoulders. And then maybe getting the hips involved too, swinging the hips side to side. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Nice. Curl the toes under again. Hands to the mat, knees up, and fold one more time. So now maybe we'll go a little bit deeper in this fold where our knees straighten even more. Shoulders are going towards the ears. And your whole upper body is very heavy here, very heavy. And we want to feel the weight on the balls of your feet, not just the heels, so both, right? You're equal on your footing, balls of your feet and heels. Your hips are lined up with the knees are lined up with your ankles. You're closing your eyes and you're feeling yourself through space here. The whole back body is stretching all the way down your legs and your back. We're gonna roll and come to stand one vertebrae at a time. I want you to feel your feet really rooted down. So press the balls of your feet down and the heels of your feet down. Really root down and roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. We're gonna inhale, arms up by the ears. So find all points of alignment, wrists, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, line up, one beautiful line. Keep that line and then just bring yourself over to the side in your side lean. Inhale it back to center and then exhale it, take it to the other side. Inhale back to center and we're gonna take a back bend. Squeeze those glutes, tuck the tail and get really as deep as you can here. Really feel that connection with the mat. Root down through the feet. Take an inhale to center, exhale hands to out towards your shoulders, in line with your shoulders. We're gonna take our helicopter twist. When you're twisting here, think of your hips staying forward. Do not let your hips come with you for right now. So when we start to bring momentum, we'll bring our hips with us. Right now, hips stay forward, it's just the upper body. 4 and 3 and 2. And then start to just kind of give yourself little hits and swinging the hips and moving everything for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Okay. Feet as wide as you can. Excuse me. We're going to inhale our arms up. We're going to bring the hands together, make fists above our head. And as we exhale, bend our knees and kind of swing the arms through. And then inhale, bring it back up. Bring the hips forward, bring the arms back, and then exhale, swing it through, and inhale, bring it up. Again, let's build some momentum here. Make it fun, make it playful. Inhale up and back bend. Exhale, swing it through, bend your knees. In and out. 4. In and out. 3. Good. And out. 2. In and out. 1. Hold it here. Knees bent, hands to the mat. And then straighten the legs so your feet are wider. We're going to turn the toes out. Heels stay on the mat. We're going to bend the knees, bring the hips down, and bring the knees back behind you. So you might be able to only go this far. You want to try to keep your heels glued to the mat. Here's your inhale. Or here's your exhale, and now your inhale is taking you up. Straight legs. Here's your exhale. Inhale, brings you up. One more time, exhale. And inhale. Let's heel toe those feet right in line with our hips. Bend the knees and bring them right back to the mat. Okay, so we're gonna find our way to seated here. Bringing the legs out in front of us. We're gonna start to kind of wrap things up a bit. Holding on to the knees, we're gonna inhale, bring your chest forward, open the knees. And then as we exhale, we're gonna round and bring them together. Inhale, open, come forward, and exhale, round and bring them together. A couple more times. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Hold it here. Let's round it and land onto our backs, holding onto our shins, head to the mat, rocking side to side. All right. Gonna release those shins, bring our feet to the mat. Take a nice big inhale. We're gonna bring the arms up and back. And as we do that, press the low back on the mat. Press the whole spine on the mat, all the way down to your tailbone. Use your exhale to really find length there. And then we're gonna slowly peel the vertebrae. So starting with the tailbone, peel it off the mat, one vertebrae at a time till we get all the way up to your upper back. Chin's away from the chest as the chest is trying to move towards the chin. We're gonna squeeze the glutes here. And we're gonna try to come as high as we can. Exhaling nice and easy. Back onto your spine. Good. Bringing the knees to your chest, grabbing a hold of the chin. The shins, bringing your chin to your chest and your forehead to your knees. Hold into your ball for a breath. And then we're gonna come right back to that bridge. You're gonna bring your arms back behind you. Before we lift, press the spine into the mat. Low back presses, tailbone presses. Use your exhale to help you. And then your next inhale, we're gonna lift one vertebrae up at a time, squeezing the glutes as you come up. Chin away from the chest. Big breath in, and again, we're gonna exhale. Chin to chest, forehead towards the knee. Pull them in. Breathe. Very good. This time, just leave the feet onto the mat. Extend the arms behind you. Let the knees drop over to the right, but then reach your hands over to the left. And breathe here. Inhale it to center. Take your knees over to the left and reach your hands over to the right. Inhale it to center. We're going to extend the left leg and bring the right knee to your chest. Pull it in. Pull that knee into your chest. Pull the shin in. And then you're going to swap it out for the other side. Left leg pulls in. Press that low back down. And then switch. Right. Pulls in, left. And when you're thinking about that left leg, the back of the leg should be pressing into the mat. So don't let the back of the leg like jet out, right? So, sometimes that hip flexor is so tight that it won't let the leg touch the mat. So you kind of want to use your strength of the hamstring, of your the back part of your leg to pull that leg down onto the mat. And we're gonna switch. And that is it. So extend both legs out. Bring your hands up to the sky. Or let the palms come up to the sky, not the hands, the palms. We're gonna just take a couple breaths here to feel into what just happened. We're closing class. So we've done a lot of attention on that low back. So feel the effects of that. Feel into how your back is responding. And sometimes laying in Shavasana is not very comfortable for the low back. Sometimes you need the knees bent. So you can put something under your knees if you want it more easeful. Otherwise, you can bend the knees and have them kiss. Maybe that'll help your low back a little bit more. So that way the low back is pressing kind of into the mat. And you could find your Shavasana here, where your inner thighs just release into each other. And now find and give your body the attention you gave it in the beginning of class and throughout class, hopefully, but specifically in the beginning where you really paid attention to any part of you that wanted attention, that wanted more attention, that had some discomfort. Maybe there is none of that right now. Maybe you feel relief. And maybe we need to celebrate that. So find that space of celebration and gratitude. And let's cultivate that. Let's cultivate that space as we continue to practice, continue to honor our bodies, make room for love for our bodies, and appreciation for what they do, instead of punishing or looking at them with disgust or anger or rage. That's not useful and not nice. We want it to be nice. We want to cultivate a space of kindness. Okay, let's take a big inhale and bring our arms up. We'll point our toes. We'll exhale the knees to the chest. We'll make our way to one side as we push our way to seated. We're gonna extend the arms all the way up, throw the head up. Look at the beautiful sunshine. Bring the hands together. Take them to heart center as we exhale to our namaste. Thank you all for coming to class today. Hope to see you in the next video.